Listen, Marcel might have had a whole lot of valid points, and he did. But I will never, ever, ever forget that he didn't know that his son was allergic to eggs or peanut butter or something. Okay? That man still said that those was Tisha's kids. Okay? We ain't gonna forget. But we're gonna give him a point on today, okay? Let's go ahead and just get into it. Like, we don't got no time to waste. It's Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 8, Episode 11, Nell Razor. But to be honest, between us, I cared less about Nell and more about what was going on with Trish raggedy husband, okay? Now, I ain't saying what she doing is right, because it's wrong. But I understand her husband. Ooh, Lord, please, boo, tomatoes, tomatoes. Now y'all might hear some snap, crackling, popping, thunderstorm, raining, noise in the back, cats, dogs. It's like it's raining real bad right now, and if I don't record it now, I'm gonna go to sleep, and it's never gonna get recorded. So bear with me, y'all. And shameless plug, meet me back here tomorrow, Wednesday, or whenever you see this, it's going to be Wednesday, the 17th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got to talk about that Tyler Perry nonsense. Okay? We got to talk about it live. So be here, be there, or be square. So Marcel meets with Trisha's husband at Black, of course. Oh, in the first scene, Nell was still talking about counseling with her kids. Moving on. So Marcel meets with Trisha's husband at Black, of course, because where else would they meet? That's the only restaurant in town, honey. So Marcel said he didn't know that, I think his name was Martez, was married to Trisha. Well, he said he didn't know he was married. Like, he said he knew Trisha, he knew Martez, he knew Ken, but he didn't know Trisha and Martez was married. And I'm like, didn't Trisha say she knew Marcel because of Martez working at the movie theater with them back in the day? You know, when Tisha was really the one who was really like the breadwinner in the family. But that's neither here nor there, child. I'm like, now it's one thing to be like, I don't know who my coworker is married to, but to not know that somebody you work with is married, yeah, what y'all think about that? Let me know. So, just a side note, we didn't need another M name. Like, please give us reviewers a break. I'm already getting tongue tied. Every name sounds similar. Nell, Trisha, Tisha, M. It's please. Okay. So Martez says that they got married at 18 and had a baby. And from what it sounds like to my ears, they got married because they were having a baby. But okay, well, you know, this is allegedly. So I'm assuming they're in the early 30s, because they said they was married for 14 years, got married at 18, early to mid 30s. So Martez admits that he was in the home physically, but checked out mentally, emotionally, and all that. He says that he didn't know how to show empathy to Trish when she lost her parents 6 months apart. Fool, you didn't know how to show empathy and sympathy to your wife, the mother of your kids, for your in-laws that you knew since high school, your kids' grandparents. I mean, ain't nobody acting like you gotta act like it was your parents, but you should be able to show empathy to. I can show empathy to a stranger. Like, what? I can show. I done shed tears over people passing away that I've never. Oh, it might be from a news article. Like I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm a sensitive soul. I don't know. So, where was I? Oh yeah. Martez says that he loves her, but he wasn't in love with her. I wonder how long he was feeling that way. He said during COVID, he realized, like a lot of people realized, that he don't even really like her and he don't want to be there no more. And I'm like, a lot of people broke up and divorced during COVID. And I'm like, how long was y'all feeling this way before this happened? Or did you realize when y'all was stuck in the house together that she was like, I really don't even like you like that. Why am I here? Like, what was it? What was a nail in the coffin for y'all? So he moved to Atlanta because he couldn't take Ken being an active father figure in the household to his children. So instead of him being an active father, he just packed his bags and moved. Help me to, girl, Trisha, girl, you stayed married to him for how long and why? But okay, girl. So he said that Ken was a reason that, or no, he said Trisha. He blames Trisha for erasing the 6 years that he was there in his daughter's life. And he was saying his daughter, like, don't y'all got a son? Why we keep leaving him out? I guess if the daughter's a little bit more boisterous about the fact that you suddenly became a deadbeat dad overnight or something like that. But he thinks Trisha is behind it. She's the reason why. Like Ken just came up in there and erased everything he used to do that he ain't doing no more. No, you did that. You did it when you left. You left. What happens after you leave is none of your business. Also, Ken should be the father. Like, this is a good thing. If Ken isn't, you want him in the house ignoring your children? That's literally what this man said with his bald head. Oh, child, I ain't even get there yet. Ooh-wee. Because everybody was seeing the picture circulating. They was like, oh, he kind of fine. No, he's not. No. First of all, dark skin is my ministry anyway. I mean, he might be easy on the eye, but the minute he opened his mouth, I don't even think a full word came out. Oh, yuck. You want him to basically ignore your children and be in the house with them? Be in the house with them, but don't you talk to them. Don't you do anything for them. Don't you act like an active father when they already don't got their real father around. Oh, child, please. So, and I'm going to just say this. He didn't have, if you really don't want somebody around in your house, like Marcel about to tell him, like I'm about to tell you what he said in a minute, you don't leave. But if you leave, you still can be an active father. Like, you don't have to be with her to be a parent. You can, yes, Ken should be playing a father figure, but you're still the father. Like, that doesn't, what he's doing don't take away. The more people to love these children, the better. I don't know. Maybe that's just what I'm thinking. So in his confessional, Marcel basically explained that staying in the house with your family, even though you fell out of love with your wife, is necessary if you don't want the new man playing stepdaddy and you don't want him in the picture. He like, if you don't want, your son calling him dad and you don't want your daughter sitting on his lap and all that stuff, then you don't leave. Yeah. But I also don't want somebody staying with me just because of kids. Like, I know sometimes you get like that and you be like, well, I had enough and the kids, but it shouldn't. If the only reason is just because of some kids, it's not going to work and the kids going to feel it. And it's just not. But I said it before and I'll say it again. What I really gather is that Marcel is only staying with Tisha for them kids. I done told y'all many reviews that when that youngest child is grown, I guarantee he's going to be out of there. Honestly, we've been married the longest since ain't nobody care. He's there because them kids is there. He don't want to do nothing hardly for the children or Tisha, but he don't want nobody else coming in there doing something for them children and Tisha. Much like this guy, but he thought he was going to leave and she was just going to be sitting there miserable and begging him to come back and all that. Man, she moved on so fast. Life going to go on, boo, with or without you. You thought some kids was going to hold her back? I think not, honey. Joke's on you. So, Martez feels like Kim been plotting to get with Trish the whole time ever since she started going to the gym. And he don't know if she did anything with Ken, like she cheated with him prior to him leaving or not. If that's the case, she would have said you left because you thought she was a cheater. I don't think that you even believe that. Not that I would put it past her, given what's going on currently. But you left. You left your wife, you left your house, and you didn't even have the dignity to file for divorce. So, whatever happens now is none of your business. Martez said that his daughter blames him for leaving his family. Is she wrong? Like, ain't that what she did? Like, what? Even Marcel was like, but you did. And when Marcel be talking that common sense, which he's done it plenty of times before, this ain't the first time. Like, he ain't had no hint of sarcasm. He ain't throwing no little jokey joke. Like, he's not playing with this man. Like, no, it's your fault. You left your family. You left your house. You left your wife. And you didn't just leave and go nearby. You moved to a whole nother state. Like, goodbye. Stay in Atlanta. We don't need you anymore. So instead of taking accountability and trying to fix his relationship with his daughter, and I don't know what his relationship is like with his son because he won't even talk about him, he basically places blame on Trish. Martell tells him like a T.I. is, okay, his daughter said that he's a deadbeat loser or something like that because that's what it is. That's how she feels. Martell says he doesn't want Ken to play father figure. And so Marceau gave an example like, okay, so if your daughter come home crying and she's upset, like, would you want Ken to hug her and console her? And he was like, no, I don't want him to do that. And he was like, what? Like, what? He's like, so what do you want him to do? Like, he's like, he should tell her to call your dad. Like, Ninja, please go away from me with this. He said it again, like, so if your daughter was crying, you want him to say, go call your dad. Like, be for real. Be very for real. It's his daughter now. We'll call you, some other time, okay? You get the news later on. He's in the house. A man who's in the house ignoring children shouldn't be in no house. Like, he's doing the right thing. He actually didn't say one bad thing about Ken at all. Call your dad. The dad who ain't doing nothing. So Marceau said, well, that's why you don't leave your kids. And that's why you don't leave your family. And he's right. Again, like I said, even if he didn't want to be there and it was just so unbearable, he still could have tried to maintain that relationship with his children. And of course, if they're going through separation and divorce, like, the daughter's going to feel some kind of way. Like, it's not abnormal. But instead of trying to be there for her and reassure her that you're going to be in her life and spend time with her, you left. So you proved her point. Should have made sure that relationship was super, super, super solid. Because you ain't going to just come and go whenever you feel like it. You need Ken's permission now. So Marceau said Martez may be the male in this situation. And I'm like, huh? How? What? Why? The way he said it in his confessional, I don't care if somebody did ask him a question. It didn't make no sense, okay? He should have declined to answer that. But anyway, Martez feels like he and Ken should have had a real conversation, a heart-to-heart. I do agree with that. I think if somebody's going to be around your kids, you should speak to them. You should be able to talk to them and get to know them. Like, you should be able to have conversations with them because that person's around your children. If you care about your kids, but I mean, So Marceau said Martez should thank Ken. You should thank him. And he should thank him. Martez said that Ken got his son a car, the car he's driving right now. I said, oh, come on. You mad at this man who bought your son a car and said that he's been taking his kids out of the country? You won't even take your kids out of the state. Like, Marcel, yes, he needs to thank that man. And I've been not in this situation, child, but something along those lines. But I do remember my son's father constantly gives my ex-fiance praise because he helped teach my son math, or he'll be like, thanks for him being there, because he was there. He was in the house with them when he wasn't. So if you're mature, that person's around and they love your child, they're helping to raise your child, you should be thankful and grateful. I don't want somebody around my kid. Like, I don't want you around my children and you don't like them and you treat them like they don't exist and ignoring them. Like, yeah, thank you for loving, because he's talking about Ken. He's there. He should be doing that. And Marceau was like, no, he can leave like you did. Exactly. He doesn't have to. Those aren't even his kids. If you left and those are your kids, you think he has to stay? He don't have to do nothing. He's doing it because he's choosing to do it. And since you ain't doing nothing, you should thank him. Moving on. And that scene went on for a long time. Like, I don't know what that Martez is trying to do. If he's trying to get some TV time, after this episode, and it sounds like he's gonna be on another one after this season, like I don't need to see him no more. So Nell and Mel meet, I don't know, outside somewhere in somebody's backyard. And Nell shares that her kids have been borrowing money and it's raising her blood pressure to the point that she can't even pass her physical. And child, that's a no-no. Start saying no. Put it. They talking about they love Chris so much, and I just want to talk to dad. Well, call him and ask him for some money. Leave me and my blood pressure alone. Okay. Like you put too much stress on yourself. And if you in debt, like at this point, you don't got it to give. So just stop. Mel tries to persuade Nell to do therapy because Nell was acting like she don't need it. Now, in her confessional, Nell mentioned like the different generations and how they feel about therapy. And she like, Nell from the old school, they don't feel like they need therapy. But, Mel said her generation is more open to it. And I agree with that. And they agree with it. Anybody from that generation knows they stubborn. They used to think like, okay, something must be wrong. If you're going to see therapists, we don't need therapy. Go to church, pray, talk to mama, write it down in a journal. Like, I don't know. And you don't need to go talk to nobody. And that's just not true. You need to go talk to somebody. Now, Mel mentioned something about a life coach. And even I got a life coach certification. And I need to put that thing to use. But anybody can go online and get that. Like, you now need to see a real therapist, okay, who went to school for this. But anywho, so I heard the Fletchers may get a spinoff. Do I think they need one? No, I'm already over this borrow money storyline. It has been dragging on. And if we're not going to bring Chris' oldest daughter, Nell's stepdaughter on, I really don't care. I don't want to see it. I'm tired of it. But, I mean, good for them. Will y'all watch it? Let me know if it's worth watching, if it come on, okay? So, speaking of the Fletcher family, they meet with Dr. Francis. Hey, Dr. Francis. It's been a minute, but Trish could use some counseling. Lancey, oldest son, said that Nell listens to respond. Like, she hear what he's saying, but she's not listening to him. She talk all over top of him and whatnot. She's still doing it as he's saying it. She's literally speaking over top of him, like not letting him get a whole complete sentence out. And Dr. Francis is sitting there listening like, ooh, as if you're doing this when I'm here, what are you doing when I'm gone, honey? So now her kids have a breakthrough. They have a little heart-to-heart, and she pours her heart out to her children. I'm a tough mama too, child. I can tell that she really do love her children. She just, the way she expresses it is a little tough, but she know that the way she's been doing it isn't working. And now these are adult children. These aren't kids or teens in the house. These are grown people who don't have to deal with it. They can just leave. But I mean, if you're going to be asking me to borrow my money, but hey, stop giving it to them. They'll figure it out. Let that be that. If that's what this spinoff going to be about, I don't want to hear about nobody borrowing no money no more. Enough. Back to Trish. She meets her loser husband, current husband, because they ain't divorced. He's talking about Ken, keep calling him Mr. Muscles and all this stuff. Like, sir, you can go to the gym. If it's bothering you that bad, you can work out if you want muscles. Like, it's giving hateration and holleration, if you know what I mean. Then he said that Kim was like, oh, when he was arguing with him, he was like, you need to check your B. You need to check your BIT. And she was like, Ken said that? And he was like, yeah, he did. When you told Marceau, you said Kim was like, you need to check your girl. Ken don't strike me as a type to say you need to check your B. I mean, now, granted, I don't know this man, but it's not giving that. It's giving you lying like you putting 20 on 10. You put a little extra stank on it to try to make Trish upset because you're really a hater and you mad. He said his biggest fear was coming true. It came true. Everything he didn't want to happen happened. And that was another man coming into his home, loving his wife and raising his children like they're his own, like they should be loved, like they never was loved before when you was there, talking about you was there physically, but not mentally. Get your bald head on somewhere. We don't need that. Okay, you sitting in there, but you can't even show compassion when somebody passes away. Oh, girl, you stayed 14 years too long, if you ask me. But and see, as soon as he got up out of there, your kids is happy and thriving. He talking about the daughter at the school, so I'm bragging about her dad. He come there unannounced because he ain't even supposed to be there. And the teacher talking about, yeah, she was talking about you, like she was talking about you driving trucks. And he was like, I ain't no truck driver. So she was talking about her dad. See, there's like a father, like biologically, and then it's like your daddy, like your dad, like he's a dad. She even embraced the sister when Trish asked her kids how they would feel about her marrying Ken, which don't even make no sense. They already live with the man, but whatever. Should have been asking how they felt before you moved them in. But anywho, she said, how would y'all feel about me marrying Ken? And the daughter said, I'm gonna have a sister. So she already embraced his daughter and everything. She said, I got a sister now. Listen, they done already blended up the family, like it's over with. Now, Trish, I don't know why your sister coming in there and your family members don't know you with Ken. And Ken bought your children a car and flew them out the country. He takes them to school every day. He does their homework. He came to your house and started paying your bills. Trisha, please. You know, you need to get it together and file these papers before you lose this man, honey. Okay, what are you doing and why are you doing it? But and that was his biggest fear about another man coming into the picture. What did you think she was gonna do? Stay single forever? Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Like, she could have, but she didn't. Like that's the choice you made when you decided to leave. I think Marcel said it like 11 times. When you left your wife, she's free to date. Even though she's married and I don't think she should be dating. But this is a simple fact that they dragging on this filing for divorce. So then he's gonna, because she was like, look, he said he want to talk to Ken. So it sounds like he's gonna come back to have this conversation with Ken. That I don't care. I need to see y'all at the courthouse filing the paperwork. That's what I want to see. I need to see y'all talking to the judge. I need to see y'all conversing with the mediator to get this finalized. It really don't take this long. It don't. And if I was Trisha, once he moved, I'd have been like, I don't know where he at. I don't know where he lives. And that divorce would have been finalized already. But Miss Little Mustang don't even want to file. And I don't know what. And then he said, oh, well, do you want to go half on it? And she going to say she at her confessional that she was mad. She was mad that he said he wanted to go half on the filing. Like, is it the $400? That's like, is it the principle that you don't want to pay for it? Is that what this is about? And she's talking about something, oh, she was so mad. But she's like, but Ken will pay for it. I would have paid for it. I would have paid for it before I even started dating Ken. I would have paid for it when he moved to Atlanta. I would have paid for it when he left the house. I don't even care about you paying for it at this point. Like, once I'm off you, I'm off of you. Okay? When I'm over it, I'm over it. I would have just paid for it for it to be done and over with. Ain't nobody hanging nothing over my head. It's done. Like, I'm not going to be having a boyfriend and then I can still have a husband lingering in the back. Like, that's crazy. I don't get it. I mean, if your personal trainer ain't paying enough, and if Ken can just pay for it, then why didn't you let Ken pay for it? Why y'all arguing about half of a divorce filing? This is really, girl. I don't know what you hanging on to. Is it the years, the time? Because I wouldn't want to spend another minute with this fool. He didn't even care about your parents. He should have shown some empathy off the strength that he been knowing them half his life. But whatever. Hopefully we can wrap this up. I don't know if Ken and Trisha trying to like drag this on so they can like get through this process so they can get like a wedding spinoff or something. But you know, Carlos King, I don't think it's in the budget. So I think y'all might want to just go ahead on and just file and be done with it. Okay. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. What do y'all think about, like, I mean, we saw Marcel, but the Scotts 1 and 2.0, we hardly see them as a couple anymore. Do y'all think that they all just need to be friend of? And while we at it, rest in peace to Kiki Jabbar, okay? Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all thought about this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.